Mizkif threatened to kill himself because Emiru had more viewers once. What? But they were dating. Wait, what's this Mizkif Emiru drama? But I saw this on Twitter a bit. Is there any lore frogs in the chat? I've been getting way too much drama on my Twitter timeline. But Emiru and Mizkif, they were dating or what? How do I know it's not just someone who doesn't follow? You have to wait to be DPS, but for dungeons I have to tank. Yeah, you really don't? Like you don't. How can I not tank in dungeons? I can not tank as war in dungeons because you aren't a tank. When I said I don't want to be tank, I meant I don't want to be tank in raid. We're still true because I don't know what I'm doing. There's no boundaries with you. Now we're the same class, same thing. Tanks, don't dude me. Ask for one thing with you, don't be a tank, and now you're tanking. What can I do? What am I supposed to do? Don't tank? Yep, there it is. I'm playing the game. Tank, Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the criticism. You're worse than Emmys. The Emmy is so much better. The people saying you're better in every chat. The comparisons and nobody will be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank and you didn't listen. Now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. Minus, 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 P, minus, minus, minus. Bro, he's that mad at her because she became a tank in WoW? What? Wait, what's the problem? I don't get it. So he's a, if I'm understanding this correctly, he is a tank player. He's playing tank. And then he tells her, I want to play tank. You play something other than tank. And then she's like playing a warrior. And she kind of needs to play tank. So then she kind of plays tank. And then he gets really mad because she plays tank. Mizkif threatened to kill himself because Emiru had more viewers once. What? But they were dating. I don't know. I don't get this. I think, like, if Mireia becomes a lot more successful than me, I'm going to be like, I fucking made it. I'm going to be proud of myself, bro. I'm going to be proud of myself. I managed to get a woman who makes a lot of money and I get to, you know, we share that. That's fucking good. Well played to me. That's fucking huge. I'd be happy. I don't get it. I am ready to be a stay-at-home husband. When we have kids, I don't mind, bro. I can stay at home. I can cook a little bit. I can play some video games, be with the kids. You know, I'm down for that. I can do that. I don't know. You guys are fucking, these are streamers, bro. Emmy is better, Emmy this. I can't have anything, Emmy. You just take. I don't understand what you want me to do, not tank. Just that simple. There were no worries asking to join, and why is it bad for me to pull in dungeons? Because now I'm going to get compared non-stop. Because now people are just going to say you're better. Because I told you this when you first told me you want to play warrior, and it's already happening, and you just don't care about this stuff ever. There's no boundaries with you. Boundaries about playing a class in a video game? I kind of need more of this juice, I'm not gonna lie. So, wait. Chat, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to dodge, and I want to see all this. When does the stream actually start? Been a rough fucking few weeks for Emiru, no? She got like assaulted at TwitchCon and then now all of this. So just, okay, I need to understand a little bit the whole lore here. How long has Mizkif and Emiru been together? How long have they been together? 2 years. Okay.
Chill and get comfortable a little bit first because I haven't streamed in a week. So yeah, I don't think I've been at my desk in like 2 weeks. So yeah, but more things have happened, so I'm gonna talk about that. Oh, hi, Will. Music. Oh, oops.
Cat update.
Y'all wanna see the cats in a while?
I want to see a cat.
This is my supported guy.
Hey, thank you very much, Tab 69 for the prime. Oh my god, what a cute little chunker.
Here's Cheddar.
Cheddar. That's a cutie, huh? I remember Emiru dated Dyrus, no? Right? For a long time?
You're fine, bud. And here's
Oh,
Mox.
what a cutie.
She's getting very large.
Oh, he's pretty
Getting
chunky.
very, very large. But yeah, it's been a crazy week, huh? And even today's been a crazy day.
Yeah.
Feels very strange. Feels very, very, very strange.
Dyrus groomed her?
But
What?
yeah,
Really?
so I mean you guys can probably tell, but today's not gonna be a normal stream. Not gonna, you know, watch videos or play games or anything today. I kinda just have a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about and then
Her background is crazy, bro. How many Kirby's is that?
after. But yeah, it's
This is a very hard watch.
I mean,
Okay, so I need to get serious. I thought, it's not just about tanking in World of Warcraft.
like you guys know, I've been streaming for 10 years. Last week was kind of the first time that I ever really like spoke about a topic.
Not just
something that
tanking.
happened to me.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm really glad that I did, and I'm proud that I did. and I feel like I have to see it to its conclusion, you know, if that makes sense. Not just for myself, but for, in a way, I kind of feel like a lot of people are involved, because it doesn't just affect me. So that's why, sorry about my voice. I'm very, very nervous in case you can't tell. But I knew that this stream had to be done today, so yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can really
so
feel the emotion in
uh,
her. She's very anxious about
might
all
as well
this.
get started. Not, you know, stall too much or anything. I know there's a lot of people here who don't normally watch, and if you're wondering, yes, I do normally run 20-minute intros. And yes, my community at least claims that they like it. I think that they like it. I like playing songs for you guys, but anyway, yeah, anyway. We don't like it? Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, I'm probably gonna stop reading chat now as well, but I mean, you guys are free to say whatever you want, obviously. So, yeah, like I said before, it's been a pretty crazy week, and a lot of things have happened since the last time that I streamed in relation to what I talked about last week, the whole TwitchCon incident. Some other things happened that kind of pushed me to talk about a lot of things that I want to talk about today. So, as you can see, I wrote out my notes, and not only that, I have even more notes.
Holy shit,
So,
she got a fucking whole book.
Yeah, if it seems like I'm like reading a script or something,
She came prepared.
because I wrote super detailed notes because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. So yeah. Okay. So, I think everyone knows about last week, the stuff that happened at TwitchCon. I was assaulted, and the guy was able to
Right, I saw
leave
the
venue, basically.
What was crazy with the TwitchCon thing was the guy, I think the guy who assaulted her was like on a stream right after, someone else's stream, and like nothing happened to him.
Okay, so like intro, first thing that I want to talk about is I did see the Twitch tweet that I believe went out yesterday. I was literally in a Discord call with my friends, and they were like, "Did you see that Twitch apologized to you?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is they put out that tweet. I was never apologized to privately. They put that out without like consulting me or anything. I didn't know that they were gonna do that, so that was yeah. I mean, I'm glad that, you know, they're trying to like take some level of accountability, but there's a lot of things that they didn't mention in the tweet that I feel like should have been mentioned. But anyway, more stuff's been happening behind the scenes. So I want to say that last week, everything I said on my stream was accurate, obviously, except for one thing. I was wrong about one thing. I was going over.
I mean, I think what's really scary about that like TwitchCon meet and greet thing is like, as you said, chat. It's like if he wanted to hurt her, he easily could have, right? Easily could have. Like, not only is it just super uncomfortable and terrible what he did, but something much, much worse could have happened. Like, it could have been really, really bad. And that level of security, when, like, these people are essentially celebrities, you know? You need to have better security because people are fucking crazy. There's gonna be some crazy people. Twitch
initially put out where they're like, oh yeah, this thing happened to a high-profile creator. You know, police were on site. We're cooperating with law enforcement investigations. What I was wrong about was, they were not cooperating with law enforcement investigations. I found that out on Monday when I got a phone call from the San Diego police, and they were talking to me, and they basically said, hey, we can't really do anything right now because they apparently know the name of the guy, but they're not giving it to us until a warrant goes through. Which, if you know anything about that stuff, it usually takes a while. even you know, if it's expedited, which it was being expedited for me, but it still takes a lot of time. And they're like, yeah, they're
So you can have the full footage of something doing something illegal, and then they still can't do anything? What?
Which as far as I'm aware is like a very
What the fuck happened to my music? What are my music?
common
What's happening?
company thing where they'll be, you know, they don't want to give out names of potential people.
Second tab with her stream started playing.
Like, that person could maybe like sue them for giving their name to police. I don't know, something like that. That's what my lawyer said. But basically, they were Twitch was trying to make sure that the guy that assaulted me didn't sue them, which meant that the police were not able to work on the case right away. So yeah, I got a call about that on, I believe it was Monday, from the San Diego police. They were like, yeah,
so they can't give his name until they have a warrant, because if they do give his name, then he could sue them. What?
Right now, that's like all we can really do, but like we're trying our best. Just like want to let you know.
That makes no sense. I don't know, some things in our society just doesn't make any sense.
Like, I didn't know that on Saturday. I would have said that if I knew. And then I believe it was the next day, there was someone who, I don't know if they were a viewer or if they were just someone who like knew of the situation from social media. They contacted my manager, and they basically told her that at their place of work, someone came into their work who matched the description of the guy, and this person was saying like, oh, I'm, you know, traveling to Texas, and I caused like quite a stir at a TwitchCon, and this person like, you know, reached out to my manager, reached out to police, San Diego police interviewed them. But basically what I'm trying to say is because
he's trying to leave the state,
delayed, this guy was able to get really far away from San Diego, allegedly. And this whole time my manager was like, basically like begging Twitch, like, dude, like, please give us his name. Like, we don't know who this person is. Like, for all we know, he like lives around where Emmy and her roommates live. Like, I can't like help her if like I don't know who this person is, and they were refusing to do it.
That's so fucked up.
But after that tip from the person who said that the guy came into their workplace and was talking to him, my manager demanded the info from Twitch. So they did end up giving it to police, but not my manager, as far as I know. She still doesn't. Yeah, so the investigation's still going on, but it's like been a huge mess because of all of the delays and like refusal to work with the police. And yeah, it's ongoing. I can't like say too much about it. Like, all this that I'm saying, obviously I like ran by my lawyer and stuff. And I do want you guys to know that Melissa has been making sure that, you know, me and my roommates, who are obviously other pretty well-known girl streamers, that we have been safe here, paying for like security stuff, making sure we're protected. Again,
while this was happening, another streamer sexually assaulted someone on stream, and she got less than 24-hour ban. What?
She's been taking care of that all on her own. Twitch did not offer anything like that.
I mean, this sucks. And, it feels so bad, especially when something like this happens. You'd think this would be like kind of like a redemption, you know, because it's like it's literally on camera. It's not like a lot of times things like this can happen, but it's like, oh, nobody saw it, and then it's their word versus mine, you know, type of vibe. And then it can be hard to pursue it and make them face repercussions. But this, everybody saw it. It blew up on the internet, and still nothing happens.
Where
nothing.
It is right now, pretty much. I can't say like too much about what, you know, me and my lawyer are doing, but my hope is really that there's some kind of like public resolutions that people who like have seen this and like know about everything that's happened can feel better about it. Because like I said, I don't feel like it's just about me. Like, it could have been anyone that it happened to, like a small streamer who's not as lucky to have the resources or like, you know, the reach that I have.
Yeah.
So it's very scary and yeah, just very, very frustrating. And yeah, I don't know where that's gonna go. I'm sure that, you know, they're probably, I would speculate, not very happy with me for talking about all this, but I feel like it's not fair to keep it hidden from all the people who literally had to witness it because of Twitter and Reddit and all these things. I mean, I'm not complaining.
Like, it literally blew up.
You know, I was super grateful that the guy posted it, got, you know, spread around so that I didn't have to figure out how to talk about it myself. But yeah, I'm just, it's a lot. It's been really heavy this week, but obviously I've been getting a lot of support from my friends and other streamers, and obviously my manager, the people that I work with, my employees and such. But yeah, I don't want to just let this be a thing that I think that they're hoping it just blows over and gets like swept under the rug. I'm not gonna, you know, go live every stream and complain about it, like, oh, you know,
For sure, yeah.
I got done dirty. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna try to the best of my ability, keep you guys updated until there's like some kind of resolution.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty
Chat, empathy is not parasocial. Feeling, when you see a person being sad and feeling bad because they feel sad, that's not parasocial. That's normal human behavior. But thinking that because Emiru, like, the difference between, I don't know, people overuse the word parasocial way too much, but what would be parasocial in this situation would be me thinking I'm now Emiru's friend because she's opening up to me. That's not true, obviously. She doesn't know who I am. But I can still feel empathy for her, I can feel bad for her, and I can want to listen to her and, you know, respect her.
heavy, intense stuff. Yeah, it's been... Sorry, I'm just looping myself now. But yeah, I would hate if like this kind of just went away and people were like, oh, what happened? You know, I don't know. You know, am I gonna go to TwitchCon next year and you know, like if something happens to me, it's gonna, you know, they're gonna try to hide it, basically. Yeah. So there's that. Give me a second.
And now we're getting into the...
I want to talk about, but I'm trying to not
This is the heavy topic, huh?
I'm trying my best to, like, you know,
Oh,
stay composed to the best of my ability.
this is gonna be a tough watch, isn't it?
Get the information across accurately.
I can feel that this will be uncomfortable.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for...
You know, it was obvious that it felt hard for her to talk about TwitchCon, but now it's like we went from level 5 to level 10, you know, like this is...
You know, support and stuff, like, honestly, it's been shocking to me, because, I don't know. I guess, like, whenever things happen, I always just kind of expect the bare minimum outcome, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I've just been very, very thankful. Very thankful and, very grateful, and, I hope that, you know, whatever comes out of this makes other people feel better. But regardless, like I said, I'm done with, going to TwitchCon. Probably done entirely with, convention streams. I feel like it's just time, you know, and I think that's probably true for a lot of streamers. The climate has, you know, really changed. I've been on Twitch for 10 years, like, you know, I keep fucking repeating myself recently. And yeah, it's,
Twitch has definitely changed.
It's changed a lot, gone pretty big, and I think that's just, you know, the reality that you have to accept. But, you know, maybe it's not a bad thing, because, you know, can go back to rotting playing games in your room. It's not so bad, right? Retirement? No. Not retirement. Definitely not. Because I'm the kind of person, I'll never give up. You're not gonna make me give up. So, yeah. Oh. Fortunately, I'm not done yet. Like I said. But just give me a bit. Was worried you were gonna quit? No. And
Wow.
I don't think I'm gonna go to any other platforms because, I mean, first of all, where would I go? And second of all, I really think that, you know, this is something that was just, I mean, this is just me, you know, being optimistic, but I feel like it was just a case of, like, you know, we didn't realize that these things could happen, and we obviously don't want them to happen, and, like, you know, things will be better.
I mean, realistically, if
You
you're
know,
a
not
streamer on
gonna-
Twitch and you don't want to leave Twitch, it's kind of only YouTube, no? I mean, you could go to Kick, but Kick is also like... and going to Kick is its own bag of worms. And so it's kind of only YouTube.
I'm not gonna leave you guys because of, you know, something that someone else did.
You go to Pump.fun.
Yeah, there's like other places that,
Sorry.
you know, I upload content. But
You models dev.
Twitch is, like,
One
really
last
home.
subathon.
That's why, through all of this, I feel like most people, you know, I mean, I did make a tweet, but, like, it was probably like 10% of what I
Bro,
need
can
to
someone
say,
tell Furalicious that
on
he's
going to a
behind?
YouTube video.
Like, no flash Q plus auto
That's why
attack there?
I've chosen to do all of this live and, like, raw, because it's just what I'm most comfortable with and what I've always done. So yeah. Oh, sorry, my, like, emotional voice is so ugly. Yeah. I don't know. It's just crazy. I just never thought things like this would happen, or I'd ever be doing a stream like this. It just feels very strange because it's just very out of my element. I've never really, like, for the most part, commented on drama or, like, self-inserted in situations, but I guess in this situation I'm kind of, like, stuck in the middle of it against my will. So it's like, if I don't do it, who else is gonna do it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'm just gonna take a second. Sorry.
Take your time. Take your time.
Times, but
Take your time.
this is it's a lot. I hate drama streams. Me too, man. Bro, like, I could have come home. I could have worked on beating Cinna and Clint's fucking Mega Bonk scores. Now look what I have to do. So fucking annoying. I had to cancel my plans. Which reminds me, I don't think there's gonna be a Halloween stream this year. I don't think that's realistic with kind of the vibes of things right now. But I mean, is anyone gonna be mad at me if I do, like, you know, like a Halloween in November thing?
I feel like...
Or, I mean, there's always next year.
Are
right?
all... Wait, what the fuck did I just do?
Yeah, I mean, things happen outside of your control.
Are all streamers, all top streamers, terrible people? Like, I don't know. The more I hear about top streamers and all their drama and everything that they care about, it makes me just think that they are like it makes me not want to be in their lives at all. Like, why are you like this? I don't understand. Like, they have so big egos. They're so rude. They're so like, I feel like you kind of lose your touch with humanity as you just stop, like, genuinely stop going outside and interacting with people, and then every interaction becomes like a social climbing thing, or everything is about views, everything is about fame. And it's like, it's weird because I feel like modern day celebrities, they can kind of like, yeah, you have some of them that are like that, but a lot of them I feel like are able to distance themselves from that and be like, my personal life is my personal life. But streamers, it feels like a lot of them, they don't have a personal life. They just have their stream and everything is their stream. They don't have any, like, they don't have a personal life that they turn into where it's like, okay, I don't care about any of this now. Let's just, you know, do my own thing, be a nice human being. No, it's always about their stream.
Yeah. It's just crazy, but I mean, thank you guys for listening to me talk and complain. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. So, the next thing, at the end of my last stream, I said that when I got home, I would be talking about some other things that I really, really did not want to talk about. But I feel like those things, developing independently of their own from the TwitchCon incident, have gone to a point where I kind of feel like I have no choice. So,
Yeah, she got the script out.
I've already seen a lot of people speculating about what I'm going to be talking about, and some people have been right, but even for the people who were right, they were only like 5 to 10% right. I don't think I've seen a single person online who knew or understood the severity of what I want to talk about today.
Jesus Christ.
And I want everyone to be aware that I've been handling the situation very seriously, and I've spent a lot of time thinking this over. And not only that, I've been in contact with a lawyer. I had them review everything that I'm planning to say today.
I mean, Emiru seems like a smart
I wanted to make sure that if
woman,
I was
to be
do
honest.
this, I was going to do it right, because it's so serious.
She's very prepared.
I feel like it's going to change things forever. And
What the fuck does this mean? You are challenger, best ADC, and yet you believe this shit. This is all scripted. It's legit all scripted. Bro, are you stupid? You see her on the verge of tears talking about how she's contacted her lawyers, and you think this is all scripted. Seriously, bro. Do you talk to other people? Like, do you leave your house? Do you understand when people are like, Emiru would be the best actor in the fucking world if this was scripted.
so
She's delivering a 12 out of 10 performance right now. Again, Dante's girlfriend was also crying in stream, and now she's with her boyfriend. Yeah, he broke up with her. And then they got back together. Are you stupid? She was crying because he broke up with her.
Today, I'm finally going to...
Do you think people don't break up and then get back together?
Out and telling everyone... Sorry, I swear I'm not trying to like make this dramatic or something. Like I said, I really wish I were not feeling like I had to do this. Just give me some time. I'm gonna be doing a lot of, I guess you could say, like, fourth wall breaking in a way, and talking about things that I thought would always be personal, and just, you know, I would just carry them myself.
Yeah.
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue, and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself. But like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And I would like to explain that before I get started so that people understand what prompted me to do this today and that it's not just on a whim or something like that. Okay, so like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes. The first and probably most severe reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it. And 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago now, I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and to someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything. I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet.
Yeah.
And I still hold that belief to this day, and I will hold that belief going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count. There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know. I think that at a certain point, if you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself. I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, yeah, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation.
What the fuck?
I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused.
What the fuck? When they were together?
At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
That's insane, bro. What?
I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet. Okay. So now that I've explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream, I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this. The way that I'm gonna do this today is I'm gonna run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can. And, hold on. Hold on.
Cute background.
Going to be showing a few screenshots.
Holy shit, she has
what I'm saying. I have
20
more
screenshots.
Things, but this is what I felt comfortable using today. And, I will be running through those later.
Holy fuck.
Another thing that I'd like to mention before I start is that during my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators who were present for certain things. And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them permission. They all said that it was fine to include their names, but I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it. There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did. And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things. And in fact, most of them didn't.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it makes sense.
Didn't even know anything at all.
Most people...
I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth. But, yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And this, no, a lot of people, you know, didn't know everything or didn't know anything. Okay, I think that's all that I have to get out of the way to start. So, this is public information. I initially moved in. Sorry, I'm still sick, like I said.
I think Mizkif will face consequences. Don't you guys think? This has become such a huge deal. I would be very surprised if this just swept under the rug. You guys don't think he will face any consequences?
This is all public.
But isn't the thing is like, isn't Emiru's Mizkif's, aren't all these people like, aren't their viewers kind of similar base? So if all of Emiru and her friends, all of their viewers no longer want to watch Mizkif, then he would lose all his viewers and essentially get cancelled, no? And all his sponsors will cancel him, bada bing, bada boom.
I moved in with him, I believe it was the end of 2021, because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the
I don't think legally I don't think anything will happen, because legally stuff like this, nothing ever happens, pretty much. But socially is where I think he will get cancelled and like his stream will die. And if that's all he cares about, maybe that's the best punishment he could get.
We did a lot of streams together. And I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022.
Yeah, January 2002. 2022.
I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out. They're not fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but that's just, you know, making that clear for details. He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers. And wanted me to succeed as a teammate, and we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent. I feel like
if you say you're nice to girls, immediately for me that's a red flag. You're nice to people or you're not nice to people. I don't know, like, yeah, for me that's always been so weird when people are like, oh no, I'm really nice to girls or I'm really nice to women or whatever. Brother, you should be just nice to people. You should be nice to people, and that's it. That's it.
Feelings of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything. So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, The start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with, and even when I would stream.
Jesus Christ.
So, when it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that, you know, he's, yeah, I just, at the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel
it's the type of hindsight stuff where it's like, it's really obviously a red flag, but when it happens in the moment, you trust the other person, you love them, and you think to yourself, yeah, you know, they just, you know, they were a bit stupid, they were a bit silly geese, you know, they didn't want to hurt me, they just wanted to, like, you know, be a bit stupid, you know. I get it, honestly. You can definitely see it as a red flag, it's for sure a red flag, but I can understand that in the moment, it happens, and you're like, it's fine.
Him testing my boundaries, if that makes sense. So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close. And then, again, a very public situation. The end.
Yeah, I saw a tweet that said Emiru, she had a black eye when this happened in her eye, and then she said that on stream, like, oh, I'm not streaming with Cam today because I have a black eye because I fell on my bike or something like that. So she like made it up to, you know, protect him essentially. Because if she said, I have a black eye because Mizkif threw his phone at me, I mean, you know, already that would be like, yo, what the fuck?
The cover-up allegations happened. I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that, see like what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You know, he was very stressed.
Wait, what's the cover-up allegations? What am I missing there? What does she mean by the cover-up allegations? A rape cover-up?
A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent if, like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because
a friend of Mizkif raised someone on his party at his house and Mizkif covered it up. What the
I wanted him to, you know, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, you know, I always believed that he was. But that, unfortunately, did not really happen. For a long time, I think about 1.5 years from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse.
This is a lot worse.
There's a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, you know, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped. So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, you know, chronically tapped into all that stuff. So for a long time after the like cover up allegations happened and he was like starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. Like we really avoided it. And to me at the time it made sense because, you know, I was like, well, of course, like, you know, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate...
Yeah, I mean, it's better for both of their viewers to not stream at the same time. But at the same time, though, if I was dating my partner who's also a streamer, I would want us to both stream at the same time so that we can, you know, have that work-life balance, that we're both working at the same time, and then we can chill together at the same time. Because if you both stream at different times, now suddenly you don't get to spend any time together, and it's like,
for times we're
shit.
both gonna perform better, you know, it makes sense. But yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of like things like events or sponsors or like, you know, just special things for a very long time. And a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him.
That's crazy.
And now I stream whenever I want. But the first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops. So it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? But
I think I get where this is going. Is she gonna have more viewers than him and then he's gonna get really mad?
So I'm live, he's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public. There are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out. You know, we're gonna have fun. Like, I was really, really excited. And then I start seeing in my chat people start saying unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying, like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc.
What?
And basically, he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him. And like I said, this is during an event. So there were drops, like everyone knows when there's drops, like it's not even fucking real, but yeah, he starts messaging me, he's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play, everyone's having fun, everyone's like wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended his stream, and then I'm still live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door, so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so there were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room.
Okay, she's talking about real life right now, right? Not Rust. Wait, at first I thought she was talking about Rust. I'm so stupid. She's talking about real life. He comes in to her room.
I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me.
Yeah.
He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all of you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me. And like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like, this is like, really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me.
What?
And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong. And I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours, finish the stream, do my best to just like, you know, carry on the show basically. And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped.
Yeah, I feel like after that,
For the rest of
Mizkif
the
realized
week,
he can act so bad,
streamed
and
the
it
rest
doesn't
of
matter.
it. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him. And during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend and like the only person that like I really talked to ever.
Yeah.
Or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was just it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move because I knew that I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it, right?
Oh,
Does that
wow.
make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us.
Jesus Christ.
And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
Jesus Christ.
Then at home, other things would happen, like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that
All right.
I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like I was kind of stuck in
Bro,
a
this
loop
is like
where I felt like I
so
had to
crazy.
constantly perform and like prove my value
Like,
to not be thrown away.
for me, this is so weird. Like, what is the point of having viewership? The point is money. If you think the point is anything other than money, you're lost. You're lost, in my opinion. If you think that the point of having high viewership is for status, it's for enjoyment, it's for any of this stuff, no. It's for money. Okay? So if you don't have money problems, why the fuck are you acting like you have money problems? Why do you care so much about viewers when you ain't got money problems? You're making money problems without having money problems. It's stupid. It's so fucking stupid because it makes it so that you will never enjoy anything. Anything. You will never enjoy anything because there's always someone higher up. There's always someone higher up, bro. There's always going to be someone richer, someone more famous, someone better looking, someone whatever. It's such a reductive, stupid mindset.
But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was going to be punished for it.
It shouldn't be about the ego. That's what I'm saying. It should just be about the money. Make it, disconnect your ego from it. Just make it a money problem. And if it's not a money problem, then it's no problem.
Felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean...
But this is the same people that refer to each other with their view counts. They call each other a 2K Andy, a 3K Andy. View count is everything to so many of these people. And of course, I can speak personally as well. When I have a lot of viewers, a lot of times streaming is more fun than having really low viewers. Because if you have really low viewers, you know that you're going to get less money. And also, there's less people in the chat, there's less hype, it feels less exciting, it doesn't feel like the spark, doesn't feel as much there. But it's all, well, one is all relative. Because a person that's never streamed on Twitch before, for them, 2 viewers is going to be a lot of viewers. While for fucking K-Droll, 20k viewers feels like low viewers. If I had 20k viewers, I would feel like I had an insane amount, while for K-Droll, probably 20k feels like low. So it's all relative at the end of the day, but I can kind of understand that mindset somewhat, but you need to be able to disconnect it. You can't let your ego go that far. That's crazy.
It's a huge part of my life, even before, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything. And this is still before I moved out. There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet. But eventually, he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off. And there was a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly like deflated.
Bro, that's like psychotic.
He was like, oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate like later asked me about it, and they were like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them, because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better, basically. I honestly don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I prepared the house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the, like, breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still, like, scared and unsure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house.
Cheddar's the cute cat. We saw him
screaming at Cheddar. Was like, get that fucking cat out of my house.
What the fuck? Bro,
grab Cheddar and...
If you don't always like animals, that's the biggest red flag of the whole time. Okay, it's not the biggest red flag, but that is like fucking weird. I don't know how you can see a cute animal and not be like, oh my god, that's such a cute little guy. That's such a cute little guy. Like, if you're not like that, fuck off, bro. You got something wrong with you.
Put him in my car and grabbed his litter box and took him there, and I just left him there and never took him back to that house.
Like, if you think animals are annoying, then I don't know. At least me and you could never be friends, I think. Because that to me is fucking weird. That means you got some weird brain chemistry going on. That to me is weird. That's weird.
And several days after that was when I finally moved
Especially
out.
a cat, man. A cat is so harmless. Like a dog can be annoying. A dog can be barking, he can want things. A cat is just chill. What's a cat gonna do? It's gonna go meow? It's gonna be chill. I don't get this.
Short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things
Okay,
happened,
insects can be really annoying. That's true.
There was a time when I just knew.
But insects don't count. They're mosquitoes. Like mosquitoes. Everybody hates mosquitoes. I mean animals, I mean like pets, okay?
Movers, I said, hey, can you come tomorrow? And they were like, yeah, and then I literally moved the next day.
So have they broken up when she moved? That's the big question.
Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place.
I mean, this sounds like the type of relationship that's hard to break out of because she's kind of stuck. And then if she breaks up with him, it can be like a public thing, and she's been a private thing, and she doesn't really want it to be a public thing, and the stakes are kind of high, everything is kind of weird, and it's just really uncomfortable.
I felt like it was the safest option for me because, you know, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like things would be fine, at least publicly.
Okay,
like,
so she broke up with him.
That, you know, everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened, and you know.
Okay.
At the time I thought that would be the best thing to do, and I felt like if I, you know, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would attack me. I was
yeah, that's the whole public aspect of things, you know.
Happening anyway. So, but yeah. After I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change, and like even
I hope she didn't go back.
And, like kind of present like, oh, I want to change, I want to be better for Emmy or whatever, you know. There was a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened,
okay, so they were together this whole time.
I was like, okay, finally.
And then they broke up
on his terms, so that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice, and he'll leave me alone. Because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, obviously, hence me doing this stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk from closure. He came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high, because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying.
What the fuck?
Checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to.
I get it.
Try to keep things together. If
I get it.
Sense.
I'm not a big person, right? I'm not famous, but I get what she's talking about. You have this idea of like, oh no, the viewers, you know, the viewers, they can't know, they can't break this facade of what's happening. I get it.
Yeah, I felt like I'd cause trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better and that, you know, he would improve. And
she's a very patient person.
Also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people or other streamers who were asking about it because they were concerned. He would say tell them.
I think if you need to say the words, "I never physically abuse you," though, right? Like, those words should not need to be uttered. I think if you need to say those words, then you're doing something like that's not a boundary to be pushed. You know, it's not like, oh, at least I'm not physically abusing you, haha. You know, like, you don't go there.
You make sure that they know that I never hit you. Around the same time, this was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess like December-ish. He would often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him.
That was crazy.
Like I said earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away, but if I performed too well, I was going to be punished. And I actually wanted to show some of those messages because obviously a lot of these things yeah, I'm not gonna fully read these out because I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to like kind of.
But I don't know, like, for me it's so weird. Like, how are you not proud of, if this is your partner, how are you not proud of them? Like, if Mireia is a god gamer in some game, I'd be like, damn, I'd be hyping her up. I'd be like, oh shit. I don't know, like, it's like if my friend does something well, I'm gonna hype them up. I'm happy for them, you know? Like, we're on the same team here.
Show what I'm saying?
Okay, we got a lot of DMs here. We read these already.
And,
let's skip it. We got all them on screen here.
What was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing.
So she reads them all out. Essentially, we read this already, but he's really mad because she is like playing a warrior, and she can either DPS or be kind of tanky warrior, I presume. I haven't played World of Warcraft. And then for dungeons, I have to tank, yeah. And then Mizkif says, you really don't, like you don't. And then Emiru says, how can I not tank in dungeons? How can I not tank as warrior in dungeons? And then Mizkif says, because you aren't a tank. And then Emiru said, when I said I don't want to be a tank, I meant I don't want to be tank in raid, which is still true because I don't know what I'm doing. And then you do not need to tank in dungeons. So I just never pull aggro. And then Mizkif says, now I'm going to get so much shit non-stop. Emmy is better. Emmy this. I can't have anything, Emmy.
You can, like I said, you can go find the stream, but
and
context.
It's like, oh, she removed the screenshots already. But the screenshot was like, he was really mad. Tank Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the criticism, the you're worse than Emmy is. The Emmy is so much better. The people saying you're better in every chat, the comparisons, since nobody will be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank and you didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. And then for some reason he does like a spam minus. I don't know what that's supposed to be. It's some like code there. But I don't understand this because like if someone came into my chat and it's like your partner is so much better than you at tanking, I'd be like, yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. She tanking like crazy. I'm kind of, but also it's like it's a fucking World of Warcraft. Like this is not a game either of you guys are very experienced in. Who the fuck cares? Like the weird thing is this would make sense if it's like if Mizkif was a professional player, he devoted his life to this one thing, and then his partner first times it is way better. I understand. That shit sucks. Your ego is gonna be hurt. But you guys are just playing this for fun. This is not it's not a competitive thing. You guys are streaming.
Like, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. And like I said, you can go find the stream. But for context, I was playing Warrior in World of Warcraft in like a level 24 dungeon. It was like Silverpine. Like, it was just like, it wasn't even like, it was like dog shit gameplay, I'm gonna be honest.
That's like, crazy.
So,
yeah, like it's dog shit gameplay, it's just they're chilling. What's that AI GPT? What is that?
Like, so, yeah.
What's this? Your text is most likely human written. Oh wait, she put like he wrote an apology to her and she checked if it was ChatGPT. Bro, I see the what's it called? The line. I see the line, bro. I see the line. It's AI. I love you, Emmy. I always have, and I know now I never stopped. Bro, I see that shit. That's fucking AI for sure. That's fucking AI for sure, bro. Do you see the line? Do you see it? There's a human doesn't write that. A human doesn't write that. The M dash. Humans don't write with the M dash. That's fucking AI right there. That's fucking AI. Hey, yeah, ChatGPT says sorry to Emiru. Hey, yeah. ChatGPT, can you write me a real apology and
later, I suppose.
Make sure my apology to emphasize that I'm not an abuser. Put that in there.
Yeah, like I said before, hold on. I was constantly trying so hard to compromise with him because I wanted to be cool and I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere. But I felt like I could never win and he hated my whole existence. Like
that's
ever
crazy.
Since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him. And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back.
Wait, what?
Because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real,
So she ruined his life because now when he's flirting with girls, his chat doesn't like it because they like her. Wow.
Would get his career back. That was like, started within the last couple of weeks that we spoke to each other. He started saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin, in particular, one specific streamer who I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who, to this day, has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person, like about them in their stream, and it was
Does anyone know who this is about?
It was very hard to listen to. And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you."
Oh, like listen to the way, like
him
what?
saying that was the
This is
final
all they think
straw for
about.
me.
All they think
The day
about.
that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore
It's about you.
calls and messages. And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him, and I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were.
I remember I watched a little bit of Tectone because I got into Wuthering Waves, and he was making a lot of content for Wuthering Waves. And at first, I was like, well, this guy seems okay. But then, like as I kept watching, it was so weird because he's super toxic. He kind of reminds me of you, like a league teammate, where they're super toxic. But then if anybody is toxic towards him, he gets so, like, he just shuts down. Like, he will flame someone nonstop, and then there will be one person in this chat that is, like, slightly disagreeing with him, and he will bring his logs up like this, call him slurs for 10 minutes, get his whole chat to flame him, and then ban him.
And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic.
And it's like,
and he was
what?
saying
They just
he
slightly
didn't-
disagreed, bro. They gave you a different
It
take.
wasn't the first time that he, like, did something like that and was, like, you know, basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial, or that, you know, we could be fine with each other. So I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically too young to focus on friendships and relationships.
What?
And
Too young to focus on friendships and relationships?
I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during, like, other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So I have not spoken to him since January of this year. It's been 10 months. But you think that's the end? It is unfortunately not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls. And I'm just gonna show those. And at first, At first it starts simple, it'd be confusing messages or like him expressing he was worried about things. Like at first it wasn't anything weird.
Let's read these. Will she read them out? Hey, just to make sure, you don't have recordings of me, right? I'm getting harassed that you do, and I'm assuming it's nothing. Do you know why I'm removed from everything? Why I'm kicked from OTK? Nobody's answering my calls, and I don't want to bother you, but I'm panicking. I don't understand what's happening. Can we please communicate so I don't feel isolated and hated by my... Can we please communicate my own or I just want to be okay with each other, and I feel like with our streams and lives, we shouldn't have this feeling. I came home and feel terrible. It feels so odd that I cannot talk to you or anyone and just know what's happening.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
Shit, there's a lot of messages. Please call me. I'm still thinking about you months. I know what I want, and it's you and only you. I've been nothing but miserable without you. I love you. I mean, if you take me back, I want us to be a real relationship. I want us to go on dates, to live together, to plan our lives. I know it's been a while. I just want to say that this is like crazy. And then I'm going back to Austin next week, and I think that you and I should at least be able to talk and communicate with each other. I'm also going to be doing a lot of collabs, and I know you've been doing a lot of collabs lately, and I feel like we should be amicable with each other, so it's not weird because we're both now doing a lot of clubs, and I feel like it should be really weird considering we're both also known to say, bro, this is a nothing sentence. And I have zero communication. I want to come back for at least... Can you answer me, Emi? Just tell me at least you moved on. Oh, and this was the one she ChatGPT checked. Not a day has gone by in these last 4 months where your final words to me, don't go, haven't echoed in my heart. What is this? What? This is for sure AI. Like there's another M dash. Why is there an M dash there? I walked out your door thinking I knew what I wanted, but I was wrong. I told myself I needed to be alone, that I had missed out on being single in my 30s. I convinced myself I needed space, freedom, distance. But the truth is, I was afraid. Afraid of commitment. Afraid of what it meant to truly let someone in. Even someone as beautiful and kind as you. I tried to protect myself in the worst way possible. I pushed you away. I told myself lies to justify it. I said I was bored. I said a relationship would hold me back. I said I didn't want to be with just one person, but those weren't truths. They were shields I put up to avoid facing my fears and the parts of myself I hadn't yet healed. And in doing that, I lost you. Oh, more. Jesus, more. More! How many screenshots does she have? The last 4 months have been the hardest of my life. Whatever people may see on the outside, M dash, online or anywhere else, M dash, know this. I've been lost without you. I've missed you every single day. I've cried more times than I can count, just thinking about your smile, your laugh, the way you'd say, merp. Okay. Sorry, I don't get that. Or make those little sounds when you were happy. I even had to unfollow you at one point, but not because I wanted to forget you, but because seeing you reminded me so painfully of how badly I messed up. I love you, Emmy. I always have, and now I know. And dash, I never stopped. I know our time together was far from perfect. My mental health weighed heavily on us both, and I'm so sorry for what I put you through. You carried more than you should have ever had to, but I'm working on myself now. M dash, really working. I've started treatment. I'm on Lexapro and propranolol, and for the first time in a long time, I feel clarity. My emotions aren't running wild anymore. I think more clearly. I feel steadier. I'm learning to be the man you always believed I could be. More. You are the love of my life. Every night we've spent watching shows, every silly conversation about cheddar. More. Holy shit. More.
Keep in mind, this is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying. And, it's just kind of a funny side note, I guess. I would like to highlight this message. because doesn't really matter, but I ran it through the ChatGPT checker.
Definitely some AI in there. Definitely. Definitely.
Like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting. But yeah. Like I said at first, the messages were just simple things, like him saying he was worried about things, or saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course. This also extended to in-person interactions, because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication, and you know, we would be fine going to the same events and parties and such. I also had to start hold on, I'm still fucking sick. I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal private communication, but I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person, because this was after he came back from his first trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went into contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll just let him have his space, I'll have my space, you know, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right? During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and a couple other friends. And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here, let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, you know, chill in a room and like—
Can't type this.
It's not so loud. And I was like, okay. So
don't tell anyone to die, and don't say that word
first without me, but it took me a bit longer to get up there, because someone like stopped me and was talking to me. And I did feel like, I mean, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid.
Oh!
But I went upstairs. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and, you know, our other friends. And then about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens. It's Miz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh, and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, you know, give the benefit of the doubt, like, you know, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something. But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs, and he was checking every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing, and then he just wanted to talk about, you know, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow.
Yeah, I feel like we're past the main parts now, right? I kind of want to see what Mizkif had to say. I see this clip on livestream fails. It's very, very high up right now. Mizkif admits controlling Emiru, told her to dress older, stop wearing pajamas, and prevented her from traveling without him or going out with certain people.
In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole, stop talking about past relationships, and yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't
think wearing pajamas, she can do that without getting assaulted.
Wants a man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe. And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling, and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man. The last 9 months of this relationship, things got extremely fucking toxic. I told her to move out. She didn't move out on her own. I told her to move out because I wanted space.
How long is this? Let me have a look. Should we watch it? 30 minutes? A little bit? I don't know if I want to watch all of this. It's getting a bit too much for my brain. But let's just see what a little bit of what he has to say.
Yo. Is this goodbye? No. Okay. Tom, think of this up. Hey, yo, what up, sheep?
46 months.
Or he's just saying hello, thanks for the sub.
It's clearly obvious at this point. It's full demon time.
I'm gay.
And it is time to go full demon.
Full demon time, bro.
People want to act like this. You know, I see some people saying some very obtuse things. I was seeing, I haven't even gone on Twitter. I saw other things. I'm like, damn. But I've been around for 10 years now. A lot of you guys know. I am pretty far away from this stuff at this point.
Please turn off alerts, man. If I see another resub, I'm
totally
gonna
okay with
do bad
exposing a lot
things
of
to
things and
myself.
saying things. At this point, I think it's pretty obvious. I will not be friends with any of these people after this. Ludwig was right. I am going to completely separate myself from these people in this community, which is fine, and I've already been doing it. But I have hundreds of messages and DMs from people, things that people probably would never want to get released that are very interesting for everyone, and I will be releasing it as time goes on, because why not? Go crazy. Who cares?
No.
Who fucking cares? But before that, I would like to address everything that was said today. Okay? Let's get some yos in chat first. Maybe some tryhards. It's perfectly fine. Go ahead. You're a disgusting piece of shit. Absolutely. Been that for years. It's pretty fucking par for the course. What are we going to pretend that I'm not a piece of shit? We've all known this. All right? Calm down. Is this anything new? No. I'm a piece of shit.
Okay, where's
that? Okay? I wrote this myself, so I don't know if
Yeah, he wrote this himself. No AI.
good.
Imagine he wrote it himself, and then he says, "I am really sorry, M dash. I did a mistake, M dash."
I am not the best writer, as a lot of you know. I have half my screen right now is red, because I can't write for shit. It's not through ChatGPT. Shut up. Not through ChatGPT. It's not through ChatGPT.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay.
It's not, bro, shut up. It's not through Chat. You really think in a serious situation like this, I put ChatGPT and I'm writing something out because it's like, oh, hold up. Like, bro, shut up. No.
Nah, he's grok.
Yes. Each other is spaced. It's so stupid. I'm not a good writer, bro. I'm not a good writer. So, okay. Let's get to this, shall we? No stalling.
Yeah, you stalled a lot.
I'm taking out of sub-only mode. I don't really care. I know that there's a lot of people that want to speak, and they can. I have no
I don't care about your chat.
I was introduced to her through it, and my chat started to like us hanging out. I didn't have feelings for her or anything, but I thought we could start hanging out more and be friends.
Okay.
So we met through the Annihilator Cup. A lot of you guys know this. I was playing with her. My chat liked her a lot. She was fun to hang out with, so we started hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
We started to play games with each other on stream, and we started to grow closer together. We started calling each other, and we were flirting. We didn't do anything, but it was pretty obvious that Emiru had feelings for me as well as I had for her. But we couldn't really do anything because at the time, she was dating a girl named Bonnie, another cosplayer from another state, and I was dating Maya. Me and Maya broke up. I broke up with her because the relationship felt stagnant, and Maya's sanctuary started to take over a lot of her life, and we hardly had time to hang out with each other. Since Maya moved out, I knew I wanted the streamer to move into the house, preferably a girl to farm content with, but I didn't want it to happen so fast. I didn't know if I wanted to be Emmy, but she told me about a stalker that came to her house with a bat, and she didn't live at her house anymore. I'm telling you everything, chat, okay? Come on. I'm telling you the whole story.
Don't
Sit
read
down
chat,
and
man.
relax. All right, take a seat. I told her to come move in with me in Austin because she had a stalker, and we want to make
I mean,
content.
it's very
and the guy-
weird to me. Like, I guess maybe it's because I'm not in this bubble and I don't like understand it and know it. But it's so weird to me to be like, I want a girl to move into our house to have content. It's just like a weird, because it's like, why would you need to mix your relationship with content? I feel like it should be separate. But
Will probably be scared since there's a bunch of people around instead of her in her Kansas home by herself. From there, our relationship started growing very fast. Within just weeks of moving in, she would sit in my room with me late at night, and I would watch Pokemon over and over again, season 1. I loved it because she made me feel like it felt like my childhood and a place of calmness. She would fall asleep in my bed. With some nights, we would touch our backs or legs together. We knew we liked each other. We just knew it was a bad idea.
this is so random.
Talks
We
of her
would
joining
touch our
OTK
backs
happened
and
fast
legs
as well,
together.
and I knew that if we were potentially going to date, we'd have to keep it a secret. Nobody was allowed to know. Streamers as well were already starting to resent me, saying that it was a shitty thing that I moved Emmy in so fast and replaced Maya so quickly. If people found out we were dating, I could be hated by my peers and lose what I created in OTK. I didn't know if we were going to date, and I knew if we were going to make it happen, it was going to be very stressful.
It's very apparent from just how he talks that everything that he does is motivated by public perception and what he thinks will make people like him the most and what will get him the most content and clout and all that stuff. Well, I think it was pretty obvious from how Emiru was talking that she didn't quite share that POV, and I think most people don't share that POV. But it makes it so that it's really hard for him to ever make any decisions for other people because all he's thinking about is himself. And it's fine to be inherently selfish, but he's taking it to such a degree and extent where it's just destructive of everything around him.
I had no idea what was going to come. It was the beginning of January of 2022. Emmy just had her huge party in an arcade celebrating her birthday on stream. Everyone from Austin was there, and as we were celebrating her joining OTK, there was a huge scare. Someone outside in the parking lot rammed into my Audi R8 and drove off. And while we were outside thinking it was a schizo viewer, we were told that the person who just hit my car was now inside holding a gun. This scared us to no end. Me and Connery's pants ran inside in fear to get everyone out and make sure everything is okay. My first concern was Emmy. I wanted her to be safe. The cops came, the drunk driver did have a gun,
So
and was
confused how
sentenced
this
to
is
3 to 5
related,
years
yeah.
in prison. Me and Emmy were terrified that night. And on the way home, I grabbed her hand, and she grabbed mine. And we knew we were trauma bonded, and we didn't want to let go.
Trauma bonded.
We would wake up together, stream together, and hang out with each other all night. She quickly became my best friend, and someone that I felt for the first time I was in love with. We hung out all
Just
day,
don't kill
every day.
yourself,
We
please.
were always so happy with each other. Playing games until the night.
I don't understand. Why are you recapping your relationship? I understand you were in a relationship. I don't
Loving
need.
every moment we were with each other. It felt poor. Jack, relax. I remember one day I left my house. She called me just so we can be on the phone together, as we always did. And we were playing a song called Falling in Love with You with Elvis came on.
I feel like he doesn't understand how serious the allegations are because he's just taking this like, we had a really nice relationship. She really liked me. I really liked her. Chat, please don't say that, chat. Oh, thank you for the resub. Thank you for the donation. Like, take this shit a bit more
I
seriously.
felt that love. First time I felt love for a girl, and I thought I'd want it to never let it go. The first year of our relationship, we almost had no fights. We started to date officially in January of 2022, and up until my cancellation, everything was perfect. She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got a bruise from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. I will throw you and show you an example, chat. I'm brushing my teeth. Right here. Look at me.
Well, I can't really look at you, but
I would throw my phone on the bed. I would just lob it over.
So it'd be like that, huh?
Just going to bed. So I would just
Okay.
That's it. And when that's the whole thing. I didn't throw it at her. I want to make that very clear. I never threw it at her. I never hit her. And she
Okay.
even said in her situation that she bruises easily. She brushed over that I threw water bottles with her on my phone near her, but that wasn't during our fights. It would be throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got bruises from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. That's it. I did feel a lot of stress over the time of our relationship up until this point from her stalkers. From the ones that would show up at her old house, and also stalkers that just had from her TikTok postings. We found after being with each other that her stalkers had a lot from would come to her a lot from her short form content. These people were schizophrenic and would think that she is talking to them. Whether it was songs she played, the way she looked at the screen, or just the titles of the videos, these people started to feel she was talking to them and come to our house to stalk her. These people thought in their heads they were dating her. They were out of their mind and dangerous. I told her if we're going to be serious about this relationship, I need her to stop posting as much and to not farm these people. She agreed and understood that it was a safety concern for not only me, but the house. Russell, Simply, Corey, or anyone that was in my house or anyone that was near us. She agreed that she wouldn't want to hurt anyone else and
But
knew that posting these types of TikToks and posts can mess with us and is something I'm not comfortable with as a guy. So she would tell me that if I had a problem to let her know. And at first it was minor things here and there, but over time it got harder and harder to deal with. There were more stress on top of this. We both had to hide the relationship from everyone. If anyone found out or was known, I could get in a ton of trouble with OTK and cause a ton of problems. Would you guys stop spamming never sub, never donated? Okay, relax.
My God, bro. Stop reading chat!
I told her if we were going to be serious about this relationship, I need to stop posting as much and to not farm these people. And then there was more stress on top of this. We both had to hide the relationship from everyone. If anyone found out or was known, I can get in a ton of trouble with OTK and can cause a ton of problems in my life. So I lied to all of my old friends, S-Fan included, who lived just next door to me, and everyone in OTK. And that was very hard for me to do.
Stay strong, Miz.
You chose to do this.
We had a doggy door between our rooms just so we can hide it from everyone else, including my roommates. We would lock the doors to avoid our roommates finding out. As time went on, they found out, but to most of our friends in the Austin circle, they never officially knew. That stress alone would drive anyone mad, but our love for each other was strong and we knew we could handle it. So, in September in 2022, a lot of you guys know, I was canceled by Trainwrecks and others trying to claim I covered up sexual assault. It was proven wrong, but that destroyed my mental health. I felt like my brain cracked, and I was never the same since. I was suicidal, depressed, and I didn't know what to do with my own life. Every day felt like an absolute nightmare. I was losing OTK, my mental health, and all my friends. Emiru was one of the only people that were there for me. She ditched sponsors to go with me to Japan.
Dry our lips.
She went with me
don't
anywhere I
take them
needed
now.
because she wanted me to be happy. And she knew sometimes I freaked out. I lashed out. But she loved me and she knew I was in a terrible mental place. It got so bad, the stress and constant talking about the same things over and over and no sleep and depression, that most of my hair started to fall out and Emiru started to hurt herself while we were in Japan.
What the fuck?
As this time happened, I was a massive wreck. I couldn't think straight, and being that Emiru hung out with me all day, she too started to become high-strung. Ugh. We would yell at each other, fight, and argue all the time. Things we never once did. I felt this relationship was taking a huge strain. But I thought it could be fixed over time since things were just so amazing that first year. But I'm so gay. But as we stayed around longer, I started resenting her a lot more. You can take it out of remote only mode. But as we stayed around longer, I started resenting her a lot more.
Bro, crying is not gay, bro. We are in 2025. Strong men cry.
Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in.
Okay. Emiru said that he's gonna start a smear campaign saying I killed my rabbits. Let's see what he says about the rabbits.
These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits moved out of
He went off the ChatGPT script, and then everything went wrong there.
her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many of them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible, and my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry..."
Like, how is this serious, bro? How can bro, how is this real? Like, you're getting accused of sexual assault, and all I'm hearing is 7777777.
this woman, I'll never forgive you. I didn't even know there was TTS going on.
Just turn off your notifications, man. Turn off the alerts, bro. Come on.
Hold on one sec. The rabbit cage, and she... Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits. These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care. She completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected. This is an up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. She left them to die, and I'm not going to sit here and have her pretend she didn't. It's fucking disgusting.
What is all the white stuff?
This is a video from my own brother. I didn't record this. These are mites all around her cage.
It's bedding or...
Okay. I would tell her to take care of them all the time, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many died just over a year or two of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt bad, and my brother once came over and said that if I marry her, he'll never forgive me. In fact,
so confused.
When Maya came over during my cancer...
So this is your house that she's living in, but because they're her rabbits, if you see that she's not taking care of them, like, this is such a self-report. This just makes me think you're both terrible people, if this is true. Because this would be, you both failed to take care of the rabbits, and both let the rabbits die. Like, guys, you both take responsibility here. You're in a relationship, and you're living together. What? Not one of the...
She actually commented on Emiru's rabbits and said, "These rabbits are completely neglected and this is disgusting."
It feels like...
Emiru wouldn't clean the cages and the smell became so bad that we started to have the rabbits just...
Like, it feels like he didn't want to take care of the rabbits so that he could keep saying that you have this flaw, you don't take care of the rabbits. And then when they died, he's like, oh, she was... Like, now I have more evidence.
Outside. I told her if that's the case, she's got to make sure she's giving them water. Because they are her responsibility. Instead, these rabbits were left outside in 100-degree heat with no food or water or anything. Most of the time being in cages with no bedding besides poop all over the place. Emmy didn't care. She would sit inside and play League of Legends all day. And what this showed me is that I don't want her to be my children's mother, and I couldn't see myself marrying her.
Bro, you sent her 20 DMs saying you love her after you guys broke up. What are you saying? what are we saying? Like, some of the things that she said is like a he said, she said situation, but she literally showed 20 plus DMs of him begging her to come back and be with him. And please just talk to me. Please, please, please. I love you. I have a vision of the life we have. And now he's like, she's not gonna be my wife.
The fights from these times started to get worse. I would constantly want to be farther and farther from her. I would use her for content, but after stream would want to be alone. I didn't know how to break up with her or end things. She was a co-owner of my org, the only person I knew, and
it's so weird. Like, apparently both of them really wanted to break up, but they couldn't because the other one didn't want to break up. Also, use her for content? Maybe just don't even say that out loud, no? Like, maybe you just shouldn't say it out loud.
strain of the relationship and hiding the relationship was really taking a toll on me. On top of that, the stalkers were getting worse. One stalker came to my house, and I had to point a gun at him for 30 minutes until the cops came. These stalkers are no joke, and the pressure from the relationship, she would tell me...
like, why is it the guy talking about the stalkers for his girlfriend? Like, if she's, like, it's just so weird. Like, if she didn't mention stalkers, why do you keep mentioning stalkers? It's her stalkers, bro. How is it you are feeling so stressed from these stalkers?
that she doesn't
When they're stalking her.
realize what she's doing, that she didn't understand what she was doing wrong. But I would constantly tell her on and off stream that
Of course
she
you
needs
would
to
be
do
if they
more.
came to your house. Yeah, but like, of course, if my girlfriend got stalked and we were living together and they came to my house, that would fuck my shit up, obviously. But if she streams for 2 hours accusing me of being manipulative, abusive, sexual assault, and she didn't mention stalkers, why am I talking about stalkers?
Because these stalkers are getting worse. I know I wasn't perfect with my language or tone throughout this entire relationship. I know I wasn't. And I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas.
She just mentioned stalkers in her VOD? Okay,
Okay,
she mentioned stalkers, but this, like, he's been talking about stalkers a quarter of the whole way.
Stop talking about past relationships. And yes, I didn't want her to travel without...
Okay, so now he says big line
told her
here.
to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to
Stop
stop
wearing
talking about
pajamas.
stalkers and schizos as a whole. Stop talking about past relationships. And yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt.
And this is just such an easy, like, blanket excuse. And also the pajama thing makes no sense. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. That's just like, how does that make her get hurt if she's wearing pajamas?
I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe. And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling, and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man. The last 9 months of this relationship, things got extremely fucking toxic. I told her to move out. She didn't move out on her own. I told her to move out because I wanted space, but she still wanted me around at all times. She would get upset if we didn't sleep together or if we weren't around. She always wanted me to drive over to her house, but I never wanted to because I wanted to be alone. And that increased our fights. But the stalkers continued, and I got even more stressed. They started to take pictures of me whenever I would drive to her house.
Again with the stalkers, man. Like,
Sorry. They knew my every movement. I couldn't take it. Between the rabbits, the stalkers, and the overall ability to handle situations with each other, I knew this wouldn't last. But I didn't know how to get out of the relationship. She did not want to move out. As for me telling Cheddar to leave my house, he was swatting at Chompy constantly and making him bleed. I not only was the one that wanted her to move out first, I was the one that wanted the cat out of the house because he was attacking my cat. Every month went by the last
The
year,
cats and the rabbits were the problem. It's just the pets' fault.
and our fights started to get louder. We were breaking up with each other almost weekly. Fights were getting more aggressive, and shouting began to increase. I was not perfect, and I reflect on those situations with poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression.
She would throw clothes or plushies at you, and you would make holes in the wall. We're equating those two? What is a little bit more menacing, no? Like, if I throw a tissue at you, there's no real threat there. Well, if I make a fucking hole in the wall with my fist, because you made me so mad, bro.
Time did say I was going to kill myself during an argument, but Emmy did this as well numerous times. She would constantly say she's going to kill herself in arguments, and I have a picture where while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers who came to my house while she was in Kansas, she told me she was going to kill herself out of aggression of the situation while it was happening. And I'm just going to leak everything because I don't really care. This is the situation. I told her that a stalker's at the house. I'm freaking out. What is happening? Can you call me? I'll call you. I literally want to kill myself. I can't take this anymore. I feel so alone and like a problem. So just want to show this. She was also using the I want to kill myself a lot in our situation and relationship.
I mean, to be honest, in today's day and age, saying you want to kill yourself is pretty common now. I say it all the time, to be honest. I say it way too much. Like, I'll be like, the tiniest thing happens, and I'm like, I want to kill myself. Probably not the best thing to have in your vocabulary. Although saying I literally want to kill myself, that's definitely a lot more like, you know?
This is while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers. This stalker who was at my house, his background picture was Emiru. And when he talked to the cops, he was in love with her and thought that she was talking to him. It is disgusting what these stalkers can do. I will say this. The fact that this guy came to my house and the result of it was a cop brought him down the street to a QT, which is a 7-Eleven, 15 minutes away, and that's all they did, is terrifying for these girls and terrifying for the situation in general.
Yeah, stalkers are bad. Yeah, I agree.
Sorry. I knew that the relationship wasn't healthy at this point. I knew we had to end it and soon. One day, Emmy posted a very provocative picture, one that she knew I would hate, and she posted it to make me upset. She admitted that she made me upset with it, and we got into a heated argument, and I broke up with her. We broke up for about a month, then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food, and then we went back to her house.
I mean, I don't know. Like, the thing is, what he set up with this stalker narrative is that now if Emiru does anything he doesn't like, he can say it's because now it's going to attract the stalkers. No, if you're too successful, that's going to attract stalkers. No, if you post a good TikTok, that's going to attract stalkers. No, if you post any photo I don't like, that's going to attract stalkers. Like, this whole stalker thing is just like, it's a perfect defense. It's a perfect defense. Because now, like, what the fuck can Emery do? Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't want to attract the stalkers. Don't want to attract the stalkers.
We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything with BJ's.
So this is the rape accusations, or the sexual assault, rather. Not rape, sorry. Let's listen what he says. Let me listen.
We broke up for about a month, then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food, and then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next.
On her stream? She said she was okay with kissing and cuddling with you on her stream? I'm confused.
Stage because I thought that's what she wanted.
Oh, like in her apology video. Ah, I see what you mean.
She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then.
Man, it's just like that misses the whole point. Misses the whole point, you know? Like, I don't know. It's a messy situation.
But we got back together soon afterwards. And during those last few months where we were fighting, we were still fighting, but it did feel
I mean,
like
his story is completely different from hers, you know? Her story is she was crying and sobbing, and then she held him. He held her, I mean, and then they started kissing, or he started kissing her face and then tried to initiate something sexual. While his story is they were cuddling and kissing, which implies mutual consent, right? And then he initiated something sexual, which is a very different situation. Obviously, I think everybody in the chat who's adult can understand that that's very different when you're cuddling with someone and both of you are kissing each other versus I'm crying and you're holding me and you're kissing my face. One is very weird and it would be really weird to start something sexual, and the other is kind of like, yeah, makes sense.
the relationship
So I don't know who's telling the truth. I'm definitely more inclined to believe Emiru because she had a lot of evidence of DMs that seemed a lot more damning than anything Mizkif has shown thus far. And I think also just the way Mizkif talked to her and the way he talks about people in general seems to be quite manipulative and he's quite willing to lie and willing to kind of say whatever it sounds like, at least, to get his way. And just like, for example, the whole WoW tanking thing. I think for me, it's always a big red flag when you can take a thing that's really small and then blow it up to be something huge and make someone feel really shit about something that shouldn't be a big deal. And yeah,
progress. And we were both agreed we need to talk about our future. Since it's been 3 years, we should see what we want. And Emmy had an idea to write down everything we wanted on paper. I'm going to let everyone know that what I'm about to say is very true.
okay.
This is exactly what happened, and she cannot argue this. One day, after staying over Emiru's house, Emiru made me breakfast, and she wrote down everything she wanted. She wrote she wants me to move closer to her. She wrote that she wants me to marry her, and she wants kids with me in the next 5 years. And I just looked at this letter that I was staring in front of me, and I just handed her back the paper. She began to cry, and I told her, I'm sorry, I just can't do this anymore. I knew we were just beyond the point of toxicity in the relationship, that our trust had completely died, and that we had so many issues that I couldn't deal with it, and I was not mentally well. I walked away.
Well, it said it's very true, so it's probably very true. If it is very true, does it change anything? I don't know. Not really. I mean, it's obvious that you guys both felt like the relationship was shit, but oftentimes when you end up in a shit relationship, you still feel dependent on the other person. And I think a lot of people, they have this idea that a shit relationship is just always shit, but it's not always shit. What usually happens is you have this honeymoon phase, because what happens is you have an argument, it's really bad, you both feel like shit, and then you get back together, you forgive each other, you're on cloud 9, it feels insane, it's like honeymoon min-max farming, where now it feels really good again, you really like each other, and then the problems arise again, the toxicity comes, and it feels like shit again, and then rinse and repeat. It's not like it's always shit all the time, because if it was always shit all the time, then, you would just break up, But that's what makes that kind of loop continue and that people stay together. So it's silly to me to be like this, where it's like, yeah, I can imagine that I can imagine that both of you guys had moments where you wanted to stay together.
I went to her door, and as I opened it, the last words I ever heard her say is, "Don't go. I love you."
That really contradicts the DMs that he sent her, though. When he sent her so many "I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you," and she never responded to them. So
that week, I made flights to Japan because I didn't want to sit around and wait to possibly get back together again. I have never talked to her in person since. I have messaged her numerous times wondering why I have been removed from OTK, Discords, and I was very scared because I didn't know what was going on.
Okay, do you address the fact that you said I love you and I want to be with you? Because she showed that, so...
Nobody was talking to me or contacting me, and I have had so much regret. Times where I wanted to go back, times where I've drunk messaged her love letters, as you saw on stream. But after 10 months, I know we're much better off without each other. I did see her at a party once at Simply's house. The house was very small, and I opened the door, I said whoops, and proceeded to talk in the other room about what I possibly did wrong, and began to bawl out and be depressed because I just saw my ex-girlfriend. I want to make it very clear. I was not following her, nor lingering around her. I was with others the entire night. The house is about 2,000 square feet with about 50 people there. I, of course, was near her.
Wait, he said it's a small house, and then he said 2,000 square feet? Wait, what the fuck is 2,000 square feet? That's a lot of meters, no? That's a lot of square meters? How much is 2,000 square feet? Is that not a lot of meters? Wait, 2,000 square feet. Square feet in square meters. It's 185 square meters. To be honest, for 50 people, that's not that much, no? Wait, how much is that? My place is like 65. 185 is not that much. It's not that much.
But I was never following her. This year, sorry.
For 50 people, it's tiny.
This year has been very hard for me, and I'm sure for her. I even went to Japan and drank every single night just to sleep.
Bro, why does the US use such big numbers? Like, why would you say 2,000 feet, square meters, and then it's a fucking tiny place? You know what I mean? Like, if I were looking at a place to buy, and I'm like, 2,000 square feet? Holy fuck. Holy fuck, bro. I'm gonna be living in a fucking McMansion. And then it's like an average house.
Each other for 3 years straight, and trauma bonding to be completely alone is such a difficult thing for both of us. I began therapy in February of this year with EMDR therapy, something she recommended me when we were dating. I'm very happy to say that I feel better than ever, and I've gotten a lot of the stress
above
I've
average
had
house
away. I've also moved from Austin.
It's not a fucking mansion. You get my point.
And I've had a lot of trauma lingering from there as a whole, and I feel a lot better from that. I truly hope nothing but the best for Emmy. I know she said a lot of these things today, and I do believe a lot of them were false, but I do hope nothing but the best for her, and I'm sorry that any of this happened. I hate that we're in this situation, and I hope that she can move on. We were in a toxic relationship. I saw that. I've realized over the years of 2 relationships now online that I'm a horrible boyfriend and I have a lot to work on for myself. I've been single for the past 10 months and I plan to stay that way. I'm continuing to go to therapy and work on myself, not just for me, but for the people around me.
Bro, I hate how ASMR's mic is. I can hear every swallow.
That's it.
That's it?
If you're wondering if it's scripted, the answer is, of course it is. I wrote it out because I cannot freeball this. This is a very serious situation. I want to make this real.
Well, I think after hearing both sides of the story, it's clear that, you know, it's interesting how different his events are of what her events are, of what happened. I think the stalker defense is a poor one because it's too good of a defense, if that makes sense. Like, you can't have a defense that just applies to every single situation, in which case you're never wrong, because that just means you've created essentially a way to never be wrong, and you need to always be possible that it is you're bad, you know, that you did something wrong. So overall, I'm definitely much more inclined to believe Emiru as well, with how much DMs she showed. She showed the whole World of Warcraft, the tanking thing that was just so weird, so manipulative. And then the whole love bombing after they broke up and him sending her. Like, I would understand if he sent one DM that was like, I still love you. You know, he was drunk, whatever happened. But he sent like 10, 20, you know, so fucking many DMs. That is like, holy shit. you are like, you were clearly pursuing her after the relationship ended and still really, really obsessed with her. So it's really hard for me to then believe that it's like she's obsessed with you. You know what I mean?